Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. When Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, the great gardener, sees that people are chanting, dancing and laughing, and that some of them are rolling on the floor, and some are making loud humming sounds, he smiles with great pleasure. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu Ki. Purport. This attitude of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is very important for persons engaged in the Hare Kṛṣṇa movement of Krishna consciousness. In every center of our institution, ISKCON, we have arranged for a love feast every Sunday. And when we actually see people come to our center, chant, dance, take prasādam, become jubilant, and purchase books, we know that certainly Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is always present in such transcendental activities, and is very pleased and satisfied. Therefore, the members of ISKCON must increase this movement more and more, according to the principles that we are presently trying to execute. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, thus being pleased, will smilingly glance upon them, bestowing his favor, and the movement will be successful. Om Ganti Vanandasya Gyananashvakya Chakshumitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Śrī Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Yadamayam Dadati Swavedantikam Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurtasi Namaha Katayata Yata Yasmin Duskarum Sukarum Bhavet Visvate Vipriyatin Śrī Caitanya Namnamitam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Any comments or questions? This is the way to make Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu happy. When we dance in ecstasy and chant the holy name, even rolling on the floor and humming very loudly. This is the way to please Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, because this is our only chance in Kali Yuga. We have no piety whatsoever. There's no chance for us for spiritual life in Kali Yuga. It's a dark time. And when Krishna left, he took knowledge and dharma with him. So what is the hope for us? Kaladechanadira janastyeko mahaguna. Ketanadeva Krishnasya mukta sangha paramaja. This Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Everything is tainted with blood. You cannot live a pure life. It's not possible. Everyone is lazy. Everyone is unfortunate. Everyone is always disturbed and quarrelsome. You put two people together, they're going to fight. If there's a murder, who do the police question first? Family and friends. They're supposed to be your family and friends, but they're the ones who are first to be suspected. So it's not a good time. But by the merciful glance of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, just him looking upon us, there is some spiritual inspiration. There is some hope that we can attain a pure life. But he's so kind that he's going to give the highest thing to the most fallen. What he has given has never been given before. That love for Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, that has never been given before. In previous Kali Yugas, there is a Vishnu avatar who preaches Harinam Sankirtan. But the highest you'll get is Vaikuntha. But just in this Kali Yuga, Krishna himself has descended by the mercy of Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya was so upset with the religious people at that time that they're just doing lip service. They're not practicing properly. They're just ritualistic, after material gain. I look religious. Look at me. Worship me. I'm a Brahmana by birth. Look at my thread. And these Brahmanas were making such propaganda that if you weren't born in a Brahmin family, then you are outcast. Sudras had to ring a bell. Oh, a Sudra is coming through, please move out of the way. If a Sudra would touch your shadow, the shadow of a Sudra would touch you, then, oh no, look what you have done, now I have to take bath again. Now I have to fast for a whole day. So such a situation was going on. And they took advantage of it to the point that they made a business out of it. They made a business out of it, this through Karma Kanda. If you wanted blessings, if you wanted to get something of prosperity in your life, you had to go to the Brahmanas. Even though they didn't have the qualities of a Brahma. Samadama, Tamal, Sityam, Jnanam, Shanti, Jnanam, what's the second line, sorry. They didn't have self-control, they didn't have cleanliness, they didn't have knowledge, they didn't have religiousness or realization. These are the qualities of a Brahmana. They didn't have this. They were just they were engaging, many were even engaging in sinful activity. But they hold this respect of being the highest order. But when Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu came by the call of Advaitacharya, he was so upset because Advaitacharya is Vishnu himself, Mahavishnu. And he says if Krishna himself, the only way to deliver these people is Krishna comes and gives them Krishna Prem, his own Krishna Prem. And if he doesn't come, then I will kill everyone, I'll chop everyone's head off in my chakra. So then he's wondering how to bring Krishna. So he found a scriptural evidence in one of the Puranas. That if one worships the Shalagram Shila with Ganga Jal and Tulasi with great love, I am purchased by him. Whatever he wants, I will do. And Advaitacharya was worshipping the Shalagram Shila with tears, bathing it with tears. Please, my Lord, please come and deliver these people. Please come. So much compassion for us, Advaitacharya. So then Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu descended in the mood of his devotee, in the mood of Srimati Radharani, to taste that love. And that manifests as this Harinam Sankirtan movement. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki. This Sankirtan movement, the prime benediction for humanity at large, it's always victorious. allows one to bathe oneself in transcendental sound and taste the nectar for which always anxious. It is giving that benediction of that moon. We're all burning in the fire of material existence. It extinguishes that fire and immerses us in a ocean of transcendental bliss. It's ever increasing more and more. So Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has descended to engulf us in bliss, in the love for Krishna, in the love of the residents of Vrindavan. Never been offered before. The next time Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu comes in this merciful form will be in 8,640,000,000 years. And when did he appear? Just 500 years ago. That flood of love of God after the appearance of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has just started. And it's going to flood more and more. We're in the thick of it. We're actually in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We're in Adi-Lila now. How is that possible? How is it possible that you can go back in this lifetime? In the Krishna book it says that when someone is purified enough to go back to Godhead, then you take birth in Krishna's pastime somewhere on some universe. It's like you get training before you go back to the spiritual world, and you serve in Krishna's pastimes. Shri Shri Radhalana Nishwara ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki, Shri Shri Gauri Nitai ki, Shri Kiri Govardhana ki. So we're serving now in Krishna's pastimes, here, now, in Chaitanya Lila. How? Well, we're not in Chaitanya Mahāprabhu left already. How are we in it? You know? So no, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the commander-in-chief for the Senapati Bhakta. Everyone's running away from the Sankirtan movement due to impersonalism and Mayavad philosophy, trying to escape that flood of love of God that's trying to inundate everyone. He sent him out, and he's establishing that you can engage now in Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's pastimes. So that's what every temple is, every ISKCON center is. It's an embassy of Chaitanya Lila. Once you enter those doors, you are now entered into the pastimes of the Lord. And the expertise of Srila Prabhupada by attracting the conditioned souls is immense. So much compassion he has for us. By the order of his spiritual master, he was told to preach this knowledge to the Western world. And then by establishing so many ways to attract the conditioned souls, just through enthusiasm, utsaha. So this utsaha this movement is running on utsaha. It means to endeavor with intelligence. That's what it means. Doesn't mean just no, with intelligence. And where do we get intelligence? Tap vidi pranapratena pranapisena sevya upadekṣanti te jnanam. Jnanas tap vidarshana. It's through the spiritual master. Just try to approach the spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. Render service unto him. These great souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. They can see you as a spirit soul, not the body. They can see Krishna and your relationship with him and how you can serve him exactly how Krishna wants you to. This is why the spiritual master is considered as good as God. He's representing the will of Krishna. Just like the Christians say that Jesus is Lord. Do we agree? Yes. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that he's a Shakti Avesh avatar. He's specially empowered by the Lord to execute his will. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada is also especially empowered. He is called Shakti Avesh Avatar as well, by his godbrother, Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Swami. So a disciple of Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Swami asked Prabhupada, so Shakti Avesh, Avesh means dress. So he asked his spiritual master, so Srila Prabhupada, they call him Swami Maharaj, what was his Vesh? What was his dress? And then he said, Nityananda Vesh. He's specially empowered by Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. Jagai Madai could not be delivered by anyone else. They were engaged in so much sinful activity. Chitragupta, the scribe of Yamaraj, could not keep up with their sinful activities. All his assistants were passing out. They couldn't keep up. All the hard drives were breaking down. I don't know what they had, what kind of systems was there. But they could not keep up with this. But then, when after Madai broke the pot over the head of Lord Nityananda and it started bleeding, and word got to Lord Chaitanya, ready to kill them with his chakra. And Lord Nityananda fell at his feet. No, my Lord, don't do this. Don't do this. Yes, he hit me, but Jagai, he stopped Madai from hitting me again. You please deliver him. You know, if you kill them, you have to kill everyone, because everyone's sinful. Thank God. So then he embraced Jagai and took all his sinful reactions. And Madai is wondering, what about me? And then Lord Chaitanya says, no, you offended Lord Nityananda, you must get his mercy. And then he fell at his feet, and Lord Nityananda forgave him. And then Lord Chaitanya embraced him. And all the sinful reactions of Jagai Manu went into the body of Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. He turned black. And then Lord Nityananda says, wow, you look black like Krishna. And after that was big Harinam Sankirtan. Everyone joined in. All the demigods descended. Said that Lord Shiva descended in the form of a sannyasi, dancing naked with dreadlocks, dancing, going everywhere. Yamaraj came. Well, at first Yamaraj fainted out of ecstasy, because he couldn't believe that such people could be delivered. It's impossible. Like the amount they accumulated, and just like that, delivered. This is the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Not only just delivered, but also to be delivered to the highest realm of the spiritual world. To be fully accessed to the persons of Radha and Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada is the instrument of such love. And he established ISKCON for that purpose, for us to engage in the Lila of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And how's that done? Well, he gave many ideas, and one of them was the Sunday Love Feast. And I remember going to the Sunday Love Feast for the first time. So what happened, actually my parents became devotees first. And my father was a devotee first. What happened, my parents were fighting, and then they sort of separated for a little bit. And my dad was into yoga and into Gandhi. So he saw that Gandhi was always reading the Gita. So when he was away, he wanted to read the Bhagavad Gita. So he tried to find a temple or something like that. He found a Hare Kṛṣṇa restaurant. And he says, hey, you have Bhagavad Gita? And they said, yeah, I have it. Why don't you come to our temple? He's like, okay, I'll come. And the first thing that knocked him down was that he came to the class, and there was like these white Australians quoting all these Sanskrit slokas, you know, like they were full Aussie guys, you know, like with a full accent, like, you know. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, we're not these bodies, and the soul suddenly passes from childhood to youth to old age, and at death get another body. It's just like driving a car, you know. What's more important, the car or the driver? It's the driver. And then when the car doesn't work anymore, get out of that car, get into a new car. Similarly, just like you give up your old clothes, put on new clothes. You give up old bodies and get new bodies. Yeah. It's logical, really. Reincarnation is not a belief. It's a fact. You're changing your body right now. Isn't it? Where's your baby body now? It doesn't exist. So like that, he couldn't believe that these Australians knew more about his own tradition than he himself. So eventually became attached to them and started doing full-time service. And so his surname is Ramasamy. So they started calling him Ram. He was washing pots and everything like that. And he never would dance in kirtan though. he would like want to do service, because when you come from like a Hindu background, usually temples is like, spiritual life means seriousness, you know. Don't smile and be serious. Yeah. Not just singing, dancing, you know. Serious. No fun. So he one time he heard this like amazing kirtan, like he couldn't do service, you know. He was watching like, oh, what is this kirtan going on? So he came to the edge of the, like to the door of the temple, you know. And then he says everyone just in ecstasy, jumping and dancing like this. And then he looks in the middle, and then there's like African sannyasi dancing like crazy, like this, you know. It was Bhakti Tirtha Swami. Yeah. So then, you know, he's pulling different devotees in to dance, this and that. And then he just looks at, this is what my dad told me. He looks at my father, big smile. He had this like amazing smile, this big smile. And then he just grabbed him, pulled him in. And then my dad started dancing like crazy, you know. And they're like, oh wow, look at Ram, he's dancing like anything. So I feel that I am in Parampara. I can dance. Because, you know, he touched my father and my father touched my life. And So yeah, he started dancing and he was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. I think he didn't want to come back home. And he served in many temples around Australia, and my parents are born in Malaysia, so he went to Malaysia. And he was serving in the temple there, and my grandma, his mother passed away, and he was very despondent. And the temple president saw that he was very despondent, and he was asking, what's wrong? What's your problem? And he says, yeah, I can't stop thinking about my family, you know. So then the temple president said, then you go back to your family. So then he had this mission. I will go back and give them Krishna consciousness. He didn't know what he was up for, such a challenge. Because I have an older brother, and there's myself, and my mother. So my mother is good. She's like pious Hindu, and she's quite good. But me and my brother are typical Aussies, you know, we're like doing like drinking and going to the clubs, and I was working in a bar, and you know, it's like, it was terrible. Terrible conditions. But somehow he was determined. And so my mom, she was like, you know, I have my demigod worship, and you know, we still eat meat, and to be vegetarian is a bit too much. And so he was dealing with a lot in the home, but he was like, no, I'll do it, you know. And Krishna had a plan. And I remember seeing Hare Krishna's first on a documentary, but this documentary wasn't a good preaching thing for Hare Krishna. It was describing different sex cults and all these things that came in the 70s to the West. And they put Hare Krishna in it as well. So then when I saw Harinam, I was like 10 years old, and I was thinking, these guys are useless. You know, they're just smoking ganja, sex cult, and look at these, you know, they're just white people trying to be Hindu like this, I'm saying, and thinking in my head. And look, they can't even play the drums, so I didn't like Harinam when I saw it. I didn't like it. And so that was always my conception. So then when my dad came back as like Hare Krishna, I was like, oh no, I don't want to have anything to do with this. So Krishna had a plan to make me humble. So I went out with some friends to a house party, and I got in a fight with some Samoans, and I got beat up nicely. So I was in my final year of high school, so I couldn't tell my brother. He was already upset. It's like, come on, what are you doing? You know, it's your final year of school. Why did you do this? And I couldn't tell my mom, you can't even tell if I have a scratch, she'll freak out. What to speak of getting beaten up. I had like a black eye, but I had long hair so I could cover it up. Yeah. So I was thinking I'll get sympathy from my dad. He just came back, of course he'll give me sympathy, So he just finished his puja and he's like cleaning his paraphernalia. And I said, hey dad, and he's like, what? I go, yeah, I got into a fight, showed him the black eye. So I was thinking he was going to be like sympathetic, nice to me. And he goes, oh, now you have some experience, that's good. I was like, shocked, what? That wasn't the answer I expected. So we started coming closer like that. And every time we sort of spend time, he would preach to me Krishna consciousness, but I thought it was his knowledge. So I didn't know it was coming from Hare Kṛṣṇa. He'll talk about Varnashram, he'll talk about like the soul, he'll talk about how real desirelessness is not like the Buddhist, it's actually you serve Krishna, and he was so tolerant and patient, but he was always there for me, and he was so tolerant. I had a job working in a bar for like 2 years, and he would drive me there at night and then pick me up in the morning at like 4 a.m. He says, don't go anywhere, you call me when you're done. And he'll drop me off. You can imagine, like I start work at 10 p.m., finish at 4. Like, who does that? And then he would always preach me all the way. So we'll come into the street where all the bars are, and he goes, this is all Maya. I go, what's Maya? He goes, illusion, this is all illusion. If I was Prime Minister, I would close all the bars. And I said, Dad, no one would vote for you then. Yeah, so, but we became quite closer and closer. But still, I will never do Hare Kṛṣṇa. One time he even told me, he goes, yeah, so actually why they do the singing on the street is like they're trying to give the holy name to people. I was like, oh, that's nice, that's nice. And then he says, sometimes I go with them too. And then on the inside I was thinking, no, why? Why would you do such a thing? This is, I know you're religious and everything, but on the street, like, singing, why? So anyway, eventually, like, Krishna had his plan. I had a girlfriend at the time. And I was complaining to her, I don't understand my culture. I don't understand who I am, And I had this whole mission of trying to understand who I was because I was too Indian to hang out with Australians. I was too Australian to hang out with Indians. So I was like, who the hell am I? But maybe it's a Malaysian Indian thing. So I went to Malaysia to find out who it was. But I couldn't relate to my relatives. But there was some mercy there. So I went to one demigod festival. It's called Taipusam. So it's like a big festival for the son of Lord Shiva, Kartikeya. But in South India, they call him Muruga. It's like 1.5 million people come to this festival. And this temple's in this huge cave. You climb up steps. It's really nice. It's pretty cool. But this whole place was packed. And I went with my relatives there. And I was thinking, yeah, maybe I'll get some like spiritual thing, And there's one thing that stands out. You may have seen it, maybe documentary about like people put hooks in their back and they pull things, or they put like metal rods through their tongue and through their cheeks and stuff, and they carry this big wooden apparatuses, and it says like they play drums and they're in a trance, like this. So the thing is, they carry this apparatus, they walk up the stairs and get the blessings of Kartikeya. So I was thinking maybe I could, and they shave their head for it before it happens, So maybe I'll shave my head and do that too, yeah. So I was thinking some spiritual experience will happen. So I'm going there with my relatives to this festival, and then all I saw was like the guys chasing the girls and the girls chasing the guys. I asked my cousin, what's going on? I thought this was like a religious festival, what are they doing? And he says, where else are they gonna meet? So they do it there. I'm like, okay, So I was getting more despondent. And then I was watching the guys who were carrying the big apparatuses, I was like, wow, how are they doing that? And then they have like a support team with them before they go up the stairs. It's like thousands of stairs. And then I see they're giving them like chulams, like ganja. I was like, oh man, this is fake too. I was like, why did I come here anyway, you know? And it was like fully commercialized, you know? There's like Ferris wheels and so many different shops, and I was like, this is not spiritual at all. You know, so I was just like, okay, whatever, just, you know, I'm on holiday. And I was studying design, and like we came to some tent, and they had all these cool posters, you know, like Vedic art. So I was like looking through them, and I saw one. It had like 5 boys on it. I was like, okay, you know, it was actually Panchatattva. No, it's like they all got their hands in. Yeah, like that one. I was like, nah, you know. And then I saw one. It's like the one by Jadurani. It's called The Divine Couple. Very detailed, very beautiful. It's like Krishna is offering some sweet or something, and then Radharani is very shy, and they have tears in their eyes. And there's like all these manjaris in the background. You can see them. They're looking. It's very beautiful painting. I was like, wow, this is so good. So I'll get this one. And then the person who was selling it, he goes, Hare Kṛṣṇa. And he goes, oh, yeah. I told him, yeah, my dad's a Hare Kṛṣṇa too. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, can I buy this? Yeah, sure. And then he gave me this like bag of nuts. It was Prasādam. So I had those nuts. And then, I don't know what was in that prasādam, but I couldn't drink alcohol anymore. It didn't work anymore. It's like I touched the alcohol, and then this switch of like sadness would come. And I was thinking, what? No! You know, and I was working in this bar for another year, not drinking just because of that Mahaprasad. You know, it just started clearing my consciousness. It was so powerful. I don't know what happened. Like, I'll be serving a drink to someone, I was thinking in my head, you know, this doesn't work. Yeah, so it came to that point. So when I told my girlfriend, I failed, I don't understand my culture. You know, my dad is always reading like this Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. You know, she goes, maybe you should read it. I go, nah, it's all about war. She goes, nah, you should read it. I go, okay. So I asked my dad, can I read Bhagavad Gita? He goes, yeah, sure, here, take it. He's like casual. He wasn't like, wow, my son, you know. He's just like, yeah, take it, okay. So then I read only 7 pages of the introduction and closed it shut. I was like, oh, because Prabhupada just like was slapping me. You're doing everything wrong. Bang, you rascal, like this. So I went back to my girlfriend. I was like depressed. And I was like, she was like, what's wrong? I go, I read this Bhagavad Gita and it said I'm doing everything wrong. And I only read 7 pages. She goes, maybe you should read the whole thing. So I left her for like a year. And then we eventually broke up, and I was the bad person in the relationship. And my conclusion was that I didn't understand what was love because I caused her so much grief. This is someone I love, and I made them so upset. So what is true love? And I'm a bad person. So I went to friends, I went to my brother, I'm such a bad person. They said, no, you're a good person, just get another girl, you're fine. And I'm like, no, I'll just do the same thing. And the only thing that said I was a bad person was the Bhagavad Gita. So then I went back to my parents again. Said, can I read Bhagavad Gita? My dad goes, go ask your mom. And then I asked mom, can I read Bhagavad Gita? She gave me Science of Self-Realization. So they got that book particularly for me. Because at the Sunday feast, there was one Mataji giving class and said that this book changed my life. It was amazing, like this. And so that's the one we have to get our son. And they were really worried about me working in this bar, and the people are hanging out. They were thinking they're going to get a call from the police saying your son is dead or arrested or something. So my mom, she was praying to Prabhupada for like 2.5 years. Like, please let my son visit the temple once. She didn't know what was going to happen. You know. So pretty much I read the same thing happened. Prabhupada would slap me, but I knew what she said, you should read the whole thing. So I kept going. And every time I had a question, my dad was there, you know, like, Dad, what's the Mayavadi? Are these guys? Yeah, they think they are God. I go, oh, okay, yeah, right. And and I was looking, like he'd say, oh, this world is consisting of the cheating and the cheated, you know. And I was thinking, wow, I lie a lot. So then I asked my dad, I go, why do people lie? He goes, because they are cheaters and rascals. I was like, oh, my dad didn't hold back, you know. He was like straightforward. So I finished the book, and pretty much I like quit the job, and I was like, no more material life, just hanged out with my parents. And pretty much I read that, this was in a week of receiving the book. I read the SSR, and because it talked about Bhagavad Gita, I read that too. And I realized from Bhagavad Gita, I am a demon. You know, 16th chapter, that's me. You know? And so I read both of these, and then my parents would like, okay, so it's Sunday, it's time for the Sunday feast. But there was some demigod festival my mom wanted to go to at a Shiva temple. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm with you. That's it, you know. So we went to the Shiva temple, and I remember praying that, like, okay, my dear Lord Shiva, I have things, like I have the stuff I need, like materially, like money, a home, family, it's fine. I just want to be a good person, like, you know, live a pure life. So I was thinking, okay, maybe he was going to send me somewhere else, you know. Because most people go to Lord Shiva to pray for wealth or some material thing. So then we went to the Hare Kṛṣṇa temple this first time, Sunday feast, you know. And I remember walking in, and it was like maybe 4 times big as this temple room. And the altar was closed, and there were 3 altars that were closed. And I was just like mama's boy, I was just next to my mom the whole time, you know. And then they blow the conch, and the altar opened up, and my first shock was there was like this Chinese lady on the altar doing the arti. And that doesn't happen at Hindu temples. Usually like a South Indian guy, you know, doing something. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I didn't see the deities. I just saw her, you know. And then the way she was like offering the lamp, you know, like because you dip it, and the ghee wicks don't fall off. How did they do that? Because usually it's like straight, ding, 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 big bow, you know. But they're like dipping it, and it's like artistic. It's like a dance nearly, you know. It's like, wow, that's far out, you know. And then walk in like the brahmacharis, and they're all Aussies, you know. It's like, wow. They're wearing dhoti and everything, and they all know my dad, they're friends with him. And my dad, like at home, me and my brother, we always knew our dad as being very serious, never smiling, never joking. But here he's smiling. I was like, okay, interesting, he's smiling here, you know. And then they started kirtan. And I was depressed from this breakup. I was like so brokenhearted. Once they started kirtan, from the first mantra, all depression just gone. I was thinking it was going to take me like 2 years to get over it. Just gone like that. I was like, okay, you know. And then they started like moving up and down the temple, like, you know, you walk back and forth. So they were doing that. And my dad was doing it too with them. Hands up, raised in the air, smiling, running up. I was thinking, who is this person? What the hell is he doing? And then they were chanting, but I couldn't recognize the mantra because they were going, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. I go, Mom, I don't remember this mantra, reading this one. No, they're just chanting the same one. Oh, okay, yeah. And they're going up and down like this. I was like, okay, good experience. And then there was Gita class, and Prahlādananda Swami was there. And it was really cool because I read so much, and he just said whatever was in the book. But I was a bit proud. I was thinking, yeah, I could give a talk too. And then I asked the question, I was thinking like, oh, can the souls be, can they be living in fire, you know? And he says, no, the soul cannot be burned or moistened. Oh, yeah, the Gita says that, yeah. You know, and there's even living entities that live in lava, you know? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, the soul can live anywhere. That's cool. And then my dad, he helped serve the feast. So he pulled me out early. He goes, come on, let's do some service. No, okay, I'll do some service, you know. And then I was like, yeah, I remember reading about devotional service. Let's do some devotional service, you know. Something for Krishna, not for me. All right, let's do it. And then, so I'm serving like this. And then there was one man there, and he goes, you know, my dad, this is my son. Oh, he said Prabhu, but I thought he was saying Babu. You know, like Yogi Bear, he has like a little bear called Babu. So he like, you know, he was like endearing. He was like, oh, you know, the young boy is here, you know. Okay, Babu, come this way. You know, it was so nice. The devotees were so nice to me, you know. And so I was serving out, and they go, you can also eat. No, I didn't come here to eat. You know, I want to just serve. It's like, that's fine. You just say, Mom said, just eat. You know, because Mom, you know, just eat. You know, okay, Mom, I'll eat. So I sit down, and there was a brahmachari going around with a basket and books, and she was distributing books. You know, it's like, yeah, I'll take all of them. You know, I was so into it. And then there was another boy. So he was going around, and he's saying like, he usually like, is like, so they try and pick up young Indian students for a certain program. So I look Indian, but you know, I'm not really. And so, you know, he comes through, he goes, oh, how's it going? Okay, yeah, cool. So what do you do? I'll go, yeah, I'm trying to be a DJ. Oh, okay, cool. You know, George Harrison also made Hare Kṛṣṇa. I'll go, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we do programs, you can come, you know, give us your number and your email. I go, okay. He never called me. So we go back down, it's time for Gaurati, and the brahmacharis are in full effect, you know, they're going to lead the kirtan. And I was like, okay, what's happening next? No, this is kirtan, you know, and it's pumping. The beats I never heard before, you know. I was into like break beats and drum and bass, but these beats were something else, you know. And then all of a sudden they start like making like a path in the crowd, and they start dancing up and down like this. I go, oh wow, you know. I was thinking maybe I shouldn't join in, you know, I'll contaminate the whole thing, you know. And but this beat is so good, you know. Oh man. And then they're running up and down, they're pulling different people in, and the crowd gets bigger, and then the brahmachari looks at me, just pulls me in, and I lost it. I forgot what happened after that. Just dancing like crazy, on and on. The Gaurati would go to like 9, it'll start at 7, but then the kirtan would go to 9. They just kept going and going and going like this, and you know, everyone's just dancing and dancing, you know. And then Mom's calling, he's like, hey, we're going home, we're gonna, wait, you know. And she was conflicted. She's like, oh, my son's finally happy, you know, he likes the temple, but like, we gotta go. And she's like, you know, and oh man, I was like, came home buzzing, you know. I was like, wow, you know, I can't believe I came from like complete depression, the dumps, to like, I never experienced a party like that. Never, ever. It was the most amazing thing ever experienced. I couldn't wait for every Sunday. I was still in my final semester of uni, so I was like, still had to deal with the world. But yeah, I was just waiting for Sunday. That was the thing, and then I guess, yeah, this is the mercy of Prabhupada. It saved me. That first taste of Krishna consciousness, that nectar, you know, that nectar that we're always anxious for. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is present at the Sunday feast. He's present when people are dancing and chanting, taking prasādam, taking books. He's fully present there. You have your soul fest at Studio 108. You know, I know what they're feeling. They're just waiting for the next Studio 108 session, you know. They're feeling like that. Because the taste, you can't get it anywhere else. Only with the devotees. Only in Srila Prabhupada's movement can you get this sort of taste, this nectar. But the nectar increases. So my spiritual master describes that when you first come to Krishna consciousness, you get like this nectar cup, It's like a thimble, small cup. So you use it to catch nectar and you drink it, like that. But when you use your nectar cup to give nectar to others, then your cup gets bigger. So then you catch more nectar, drink it, and then catch more, give to others, get more. Give it to others. Then you're just drowning in it. So it's amazing, this Mali Chaitanya, the gardener Chaitanya, he's empowering us. I'll be called very pious. How am I distribute these fruits of love of God? I order all people to help me, and then I'll be consider myself pious. You know, he's empowering all of us to be instruments of that love of God. And even though you don't have qualification, that doesn't matter. In Krishna consciousness, you get put in the position, then you get qualified. You know, you help out, you know, so you help in the kitchen a little bit, and then 1 week later you're the manager of the kitchen. It's typical movement, you know. It's like, wow, you're into this. Okay, you're in charge. You do it so good, you're in charge. You know. So empowerment, this movement is about empowering others, even though you think you're not qualified. You see that on books. People are just trying to disqualify themselves. Oh, I'm a Christian. That's great. This will make you a pure Christian. You know. It's so rare to meet someone who believes in God. This book's for you. Everyone is qualified to get the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. We just have to see that, you know, and make it as accessible as possible. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Any comments or questions? Yes, Mati?
Actually, did your parents have some impact
Oh,
on you?
you need a mic, sorry.
Did your parents had some impact on your brother too?
We're working on him. If you all pray for him, maybe, yes, you know, pray for my brother. But what actually happened is very interesting. So his wife, she met me, like first time I met, when they first got together, I was working in the bar. But then the next week, I became a devotee. So then I'm like head shaved. I used to have long dreadlocks and a beard, you know, now I'm shaven. You know, now I'm all like Krishna, Krishna, reading all the time and praying and chanting. So she saw me like at the last moment of my material life and then transitioned. So she pretty much only knows me as a devotee. And she's very favorable. She'll help, like if we need help with some program, she'll come and help. And especially they have a daughter, so when she was born, she was like, oh, can we take her to the temple? So we went together to the temple. So then she sort of made it a bit more accessible for my brother. And she told me, actually, when I was young and traveling around Europe, we went to Prague. And we actually followed the Hare Kṛṣṇa, the Harinam party for like 2 hours. Like, wow, these guys know where the party is. So they just followed them, you know, the whole Harinam. And then what? She ends up marrying a guy whose whole family is Hare Krishnas, you know. So, I mean, Krishna has his way, especially in terms of family members. Just like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law. They invited Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu to have prasādam. And, you know, they had like 56 preparations. And then Lord Chaitanya's like, what are you saying? I'm a sannyasi, I can't eat so much. He goes, what do you mean? You as Lord Jagannath eats 56 preparations, just eat it. And he, you know, okay, I'll eat it, you know. But then Amoga, he comes in, he goes, what is this sannyasi? Just enjoying his senses, eating too much, you know. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was so angry, how can you say this about the Lord? And he chased him with a stick, get out of here, you rascal, you know. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's wife was like banging her chest. He goes, what an offense, may my daughter become a widow, you know, may die, you know. So then eventually, Amoga, he ended up getting, I think, some disease like cholera or something like that. And some of them about to charge like, yes, this is good. This is for his purification, for the offense he made to the Lord. And he's like dying there. And then the Lord comes, why are you sick? How did this pride and envy come upon you? He touched his chest. And then he cured him and gave him Krishna Prem, you know. And some of Bhattacharya is wondering, why would you deliver such an offender, you know? Why would you do that? And he says, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, your whole family is dear to me like you are to me. Even your dog is dear to me, like that. So we're worrying about our family members if they're going to get mercy. But they'll get so much mercy because we are connected to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. If we're dancing, chanting, laughing, rolling on the floor and making loud humming sounds, Lord Chaitanya will smile with great pleasure and bless our family members. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki. Wait, you had a question, Rupanu? Okay, you can add. Sorry.
Just wanted to say, first of all, thank you very much for sharing your the way that you came to Krishna consciousness. It's always inspiring to hear like that. It's very powerful. Especially I relate because I spoke to your dad a few weeks back. So now I got your dad's image in my mind as well. So very powerful. Just wanted to know, when did you get this strong attachment for the Harinam? Because was it from the beginning or was it a bit?
It was not from the beginning. Yeah, I remember reading in the Science of Self-Realization, Prabhupada was speaking to a police officer how to reduce crime. So then Prabhupada said, yes, we get everyone in a big hall and we'll chant the Maha Mantra. And I was thinking it would look like some sort of Buddhist thing where everyone just sits there and goes, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I thought it would look like that, like 1,000 people just sitting there and like, yes, that will elevate, they'll purify the city and reduce crime. And I remember seeing like this word Sankirtana, because it has an A, it's not Sankirtana, Sankirtana, and I remember seeing the kirtan in the temple, and I was telling one devotee, yeah, that was a good Sankirtana. So when I started, I like kirtan. Every time there's a kirtan, I'm there, 100%. I'm always there. But I'll still never do Harinam. No way. That was like not me. I'll do service though. I'll go to like that. When I was in university, in the city, like UCL is here and the temple's here. So they had a restaurant nearby. And my dad says, yeah, you can do some service and you'll get association. I didn't know what association meant, but my English was so bad. I was reading a book, I kept pulling out the dictionary, dovetail, association, bona fide. So I'd come and do some service, and it was nice helping in the restaurant, washing dishes like that. And then from the restaurant, they'll do Harinam. And they go, okay, we're going for Harinam, let's go. And nah, like this. So then, because I associated more and more, and I loved dancing in kirtan in the temple room, and I was really like more energy. I'd like touch the ceiling and, and everything. It was jumping so high. And it was the best. But then those that was close to the brahmacharis, like it really inspired me. They just gave a push. It's like, come on, just try it. Okay, I'll try it, And they took me out there. I was like so nervous and scared, But, I thought the best party was the temple one, I couldn't beat it, This is like better than any nightclub or any music festival. This is where it's at. But then they went on the street And they started chanting, and then you get people to join in, and then you start dancing up and down the street. Like, whoa, it hit another level. It's like, whoa, this is better than the temple. Oh my God, this is like where it's, I didn't know this could get better, you know. But it was only there, this is even better. And then like something comes over you where you want other people to join in, you know, you see them and you just spin them and you know, you go crazy and you like scream even louder. Like for some reason when you have walls you feel a bit more like restrictive. You can't scream so much, but there you can fully scream, you can run and leap and jump, you know. Here you can't do it, you might break something or someone, you know. So it's like more freedom. So I got into it more, and I didn't think it was part of the philosophy. I thought it was like just what Hare Krishnas do because they can't go to nightclubs. This is their party, you know. But then I read more. I said, wait a minute, this is the philosophy. This is it. And so I liked it a lot, but I was thinking, I want to be a serious devotee. I want to be like a real preacher, you know. And I didn't think I'd be a brahmachari. I saw these orange guys, you know, I got, nah, I'm too lusty for this. So I was like, yeah, let me just like get my design degree. Let me be a, you know, let me be like an example in the industry, and like, you know, I'll be like this bridge preacher. I'll be this cool guy who's like Krishna conscious, you know. I'll be like Jay Shetty or something. But Krishna has other plans. Krishna has a sense of humor. And the more I read, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, then this fire, like this enthusiasm for Harinam Sankirtan just like grew more and more. And I couldn't let go of it. You know, I could not let go of it. Even when the Hare Krishna says, stop it, it's banned, I would sneak out and do Harinam. There was one time, there was a book marathon, and like Harinam was banned. Because we want everyone on books. I was like, I did books, but like I didn't want to set a bad example or like, you know, be like against some like authority. So I'd sneak out and do Harinam and come back. Yeah. So this is my saving grace. If everything falls apart, man, this will always save me. That's what I know. Yeah. It's okay?
Fantastic.
Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Yantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanandi.